So Anne was originally going to do this, our director, and she threw it at me, so hi there. There's the scrap exchange. Hopefully, so who all knew? I heard some screams. Few? Okay, good, because it's hard to explain, so I was hoping not to have to go like 4 minutes into explaining what the heck it is that we do. This is the Lakewood Cinemas. It was a Duke surplus for a while, and it was built in 1966, in case you want to know. Here's some pictures. We did a drive-in over the summer, all kinds of fun things. But to me, it's like a space of, it's like primordial ooze of like weird stuff that you can make things with. These are kind of old pictures. It looks a lot nicer now. It's like real slick and fancy. Get this thing to advance. There we go. The little blue guy's Mongo. He's our mascot, and he's made out of junk. Thinking about maker spaces and DIY, and I've always been both of those things. I love that stuff, and it's great to hear about high-end, and we sort of work on the opposite of that. Everything is scrappy. It's like our name for everything is scrappy. Mongo actually is a term for like junk you find on the street in New York from like the 1970s. It's this book we had. So if you want old videotapes or pieces of acrylic or crayons, you can come to the scrap exchange. I'm an artist. Everyone likes to be an artist. But I work with wire and things now, and this thing is not moving. So things like this, those are like the little sticks from flags that you can put down when you want to figure out where your septic tank is or whatever. More little things. So I got to this point from, I was working in the warehouse. I inherited my job from previous driver, who's a friend of mine. He reminded me that the scrap exchange even existed. I had kind of forgotten about it for a long time, and I'd lived elsewhere. And trying to make art is always kind of a challenge when you don't have a good place to make it in. There's a close-up for those who are interested. And the warehouse we had there was like my little secret world. And I put a lot of these photos in here, didn't I? I didn't know what I was going to do, so I just threw in a ton of photos. There's a close-up. Okay, all right. You've seen enough of that stuff. But remember this, because later it'll actually be kind of important. So I started with like wires and dunking them in paint, because we had just epic amounts of paint in our warehouse, and nobody wanted it. It's hard to get rid of. You can't throw it away. You dry it out. It's a pain. So I was making these little wire things that were a pain to do, but if you dunk them in paint like 300 times, it turns into like a weird thing, and I don't know. I was playing with it. And here's a picture of the warehouse. This is for all the behind the scenes of the scrap exchange. Here we go. So imagine trying to make sense out of this. I inherited this space from the previous people, and this is like 10 years worth of just like people throwing stuff into a building. And so my maker space was like this area at the bottom of the ladder, and all the stuff we had. So we have, like I said, the primordial soup of just junk everywhere. And I had a whole show after this at the scrap of just stuff I made while I was working and collecting things, and it's great, but it's not very accessible to other people. And then, hang on, suspense. What happened was, and people might know, if I could, maybe the smoke is clouding the thing. Here we go. Oh, that happened. There's the roof collapse. The building fell apart, and so there goes my place where we were having fun making art and doing fun stuff. People's bands were practicing. One of these classic weird warehouses where you can do kind of whatever, not while I'm working, in case the scrap exchange is watching. That pole sticking out is actually right next to where our van used to park. So, literally our space is right under that sort of sea of tin roof right there. And there's the view from inside our space. It was traumatic. So I moved out of this, kind of thinking about this as my little world of, somewhere I can go and make things and kind of have fun and work and sort of be all in the same zone, and back to my own house, and it's a smaller space. I don't have a lot of funds for tools and stuff, so I was like, I wanted to make a spot welder so I could work with the wire in different ways, like you saw in the beginning. And I'd run into a video by this Arthur Ganson artist that makes little wire mechanical things that are really, really amazing. He's got stuff at MIT Museum. And so he has a little spot welder in his video. I was like, well, that's cool. I should get one of those. It's $12,000. So maybe I'll make one. And I think that's kind of what I want to get to here, because I know I'm rambling, but I think I got a picture of it. Oh, no, the building got condemned. I put a frame on it because I thought it deserved a little gold frame. There it is. So this is like the low-tech shop. But I have to say, being out here in RTP, this little blue thing on the side there, I got from a lab out here, and it's like really great. It's like a $300 doodad. Uh-oh, I'm running over. Anyways, made the spot welder out of trash from the scrap exchange. There's the thing. And we're working on our own little kind of in-house maker space. Instead of the warehouse, big, dirty, random place, it's not advancing for me. We have this, which is slightly less chaotic than the warehouse was, and we've got a lot of great tools that have been donated. There's an amazing welder you can't quite see in the corner there. There's Mongo the bowling ball back there in the back. And so we're really trying to open up what used to be sort of in-house, just us playing around, to kids in the neighborhood that need to fix their bike, or if someone wants to make a bottle tree. We have a lot of people that want to make bottle trees for some reason. We have our artist in residence, Tom Dawson. We have all his welding equipment, so we can weld. Good Tom fans out there. Numinous Steel, that's his thing right now. So he's taught me to weld, so I can make big wire too, which is moving on for me. But so yeah, I think my point really was to talk about access to making, and it sort of comes at all levels. Thank you.